Alrighty, what's up? Back for the trade ideas for 1018. We're going to go ahead and go over what we think is going to go down today. All right, so we're here on the Nasdaq. We're on the hour time frame. So we look at the hour time frame, and now we had a double MB to the top side. So what am I talking about? We had this particular zone or MB here, mint block, and we had a mint block here. So technically you want to buy stop that, but we're on a higher time frame. We could just go with that, right? But we're not going to just go with that. So ultimately that's telling me this might want to go and continue bullish here. Maybe. Now let's cheat a little bit, but it's not really cheating, I guess. You see here, we got a lot of money coming into the market here. We have Nasdaq up to 11,280 points. So we have a nice little surge upwards. I mean, okay, great. Go ahead and close that out real quick. And so we see this break here, and we're looking, okay, well, where are we going to go ahead and look to go long for? Because we have two breaks, so why not continue for a third break, right? So we have a break up here. Where'd it come from? Came from somewhere in here, but I see this in here as well. So I would want to see it come down and fill this large area here, right, before I ultimately continue long. Now, if I'm going to continue long, where am I to continue long to? Well, personally, I think we could at least run these highs here. So I would make this a goal to run these highs before I thought about getting out of a long. So we would see that if we took this, we have some, we really nice padding there. Maybe a 1 to 4 potentially. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go down to the lower time frame, and we're going to see that we still have that gap present there. And I still want to see it come down there and at least tap into this area. It's a larger area. Looks like it's a large area, obviously, on the lower time frame, 15-minute. You can see this pullback here. We have all this liquidity. Okay, pullback here comes up. I mean, this is a tough one. This is actually a pretty tough one when I start going down to a lower time frame, because ultimately what I want to see is this particular demand here. It's a pretty neat, nice one. Maybe not. I mean, there's just gaps. There's all types of stuff around here. Potentially seeing it come back down here would be dope. So we want to see it. Let's see if it comes back down there. Oh, it'll be a certified professional DevOps engineer. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and put an alert here for our demand zone. And this is going to be on the 15-minute time frame. So great. We want to see it come back down in there before we go ahead and take any type of trades. Go down to the 5-minute, and what are we seeing on the 5-minute? Well, we're seeing price come up. I mean, probably want to see it break above here before even thinking about potentially taking a short back down to the zone here. The price breaking up, I mean, we probably want to see it break this here if we are to start looking for shorts down, because I mean, trading both sides of the markets, why not learn? And I mean, this is not recommended for beginners. You should probably just go with the trend. Trends your friend to the very end. So just continue to do that, and you'll probably win more than I do. So anyways, let's go ahead and move over to the euro and check out what we got going on in EURUSD, or EU as some may say. Let's go ahead and remove all these drawings and let's look at price right now. So price, again, just like most things right now, we got this nice double MB to the top side. We got MB1, then we have MB2, right? Then we're saying, okay, well, we have this demand zone that we're going to go ahead and trade off of. Great. So what we want to do on the 1 hour time frame, look, we have all this area to fill down here. So great. We're probably going to come back down here and go ahead and say that this is going to be our demand zone. We'll leave that there. And now we see price was moving sideways. It came up, broke above this particular very intermediate candlestick structure. Then it broke down. So now that's MB1. And then technically we'd want to see it break here for NB2. And I mean, it's not really that much meat on the bone on the hourly time frame. So then what would we do? Well, we would say, okay, let's go ahead and zoom in and see what's actually going on the lower time frame here. And we see it had a break up, and then we had this break large move down. And price doesn't seem like it may come all the way back up here. I don't know. Let's go ahead and go down to the 5 minutes, see what's going on here. Yeah, so we had this pullback, bam, bam, bam. Now we have 3 breaks of structure already. So now what are we doing? Looks like we're in this area. I think maybe we run this a bit before ultimately going lower. But we already have the bias that we're going to go lower. So that's going to be there, of course. Now let's just draw them all in. All right, great. So then what do we say? Well, we have, no, that was mitigated about halfway there too. I mean, there's not really any zones that I like on the 5 minute there. So if there's anything down here on the 1 minute, I don't think there is. I mean, you could argue all the way up here, but then too, you could argue all the way up there as well. Break. I mean, it looks like it might be slightly bullish on the little very low time frame, but let's go ahead and see what happens with this 1 minute. You know, this is just the looks, right? We're gonna go ahead and document it and see what actually happens and add that to our book of data. So there we go. All right, let's go to gold and see what's going on here. All right, let's go ahead and remove these drawings. Again, I'm already slightly biased because my eye is looking somewhere already. But we saw it break down. Instead of breaking up like everything else, it looks like this is starting to break down here. So we had NB1. Right now, looks like we're forming NB2. Right, so it looked like it came in here and mitigated some zone up in there, and then potentially to go lower. Right, so on the higher time frame, of course, let's just look. This is not very good RR because we want to see it run this low here. But I mean, it's not. I mean, that's 0.87. So what do we do now, y'all? Y'all tell me. What do we do? Well, we go down to a lower time frame. Duh. This is exactly what we're gonna do. So from there, we go and look. Okay, well, we started to have. We had this move up. We had a mitigation. It seems. Right. Let's go ahead and draw that out. Potential mitigation there. Right. Came in there. And if we went down lower, maybe we could see some type of entry off that zone. Came up really rapidly. It dropped pretty hard. I don't really see it. I definitely don't really see it. So let's go here. We see the intermediate candlestick structure break down. So where did it break? So bam, came up here. We have this area right here, right, like that. But then we have this. So we'll just the NB inside the NB. Came down and we're looking, we're like, okay, well, gray had the break, and now it looks like it's coming up to test some particular zone in here. Maybe it's in here somewhere. All right, but what we'll do is we'll move this over here. It's already been tapped into, so we ultimately want to see it go low. So we are looking for ways to get short. So we'll go ahead and put a supply zone there. We'll wait for it to come and tap in and see if we get a confirmation. If not, then we'll just let it do what it's going to do. So there we go. Boom. Let's see what happens with that gold movement. Great. Okay, so now look at the good old Bitcoin. It came up. It's in the supply zone now. This one we're probably not going to trade. Let's see what happens on this price action. So ultimately, we have what looks like a decent white cloth. You probably would want to see it break one more time. So you got 1, 2, and then maybe break up into here for an absorption type entry, maybe. Or what else would we want to see? Well, this came from here. It looked like it already broke down a bit. So then now, technically, if we're trading off the wicks, then we probably have a nice double NB setting up here on the 30-minute time frame, which we ultimately want to see it go lower. Run these lows here. It's a nice 1 to 2 RR there. So boom. Yeah, I think we want to see it run one more for it to be looking super juicy, you know? Like super juicy. But we see this break here and we see this is valid, right? So we say, okay, well, great. It breaks up. And then we say, well, where did that come from? That break? Well, it came from down here. Then we see it wick below that, right? So then technically we're like this right now, right? So you want to see like, and we'll put this here just so you kind of know what I'm looking at there. That's a down one. So then you'd want to see something like this potentially, MB2, because that's pretty much where it's at right now. Put a little bit of padding in it now. That turns into a 1 to 3 to run that low. But we're not going to go ahead and do that. We're going to wait. And let's go ahead. I'm actually curious here. MB2 break. Let's go ahead and put that on some type of analysis, and we'll come back to that during our review. But anyways, that's all I got for y'all today. Hope you learned something. Go ahead and hit the comment section, hit the like button and the subscribe button, and let's go ahead and continue on this journey becoming consistently profitable. It's your boy B Phil. I'm gone. Peace.